Texas Republican Will Hurd is a member of the House Intel Committee. Great to have him from Texas along board today. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to start with what Adam Schiff said. He said the GOP viewed the job as protecting the president and not getting to the truth. I'm paraphrasing the last little bit of that. He might have said the facts. What is your reaction to that?
Well, that's ridiculous, and Adam probably hadn't even seen the report, the draft report yet. So, you know, this is one of the things that's frustrating about where we are, is the inability of us to work together on common things. Now, we actually all do agree on a lot of stuff. We do agree that the Russians tried to influence our elections, that they were trying to erode trust. And if there was some evidence of collusion, you know, there were so many leaks throughout this process. The press, the American people have seen a lot of this information, and I don't think there was anything that was ever revealed that suggests that type of activity.
You know, Congressman Hurd, it seems like the leaks were political, and I wonder how in your environment on the Hill do you bring about accountability for that? Because that really makes everybody look bad.
It hurts everybody. It hurts the intelligence communities. You know, I spent almost a decade as an undercover officer in the CIA. I was the guy in the back alleys collecting intelligence on threats to our homeland. The good thing is that the men and women in the CIA and the FBI are hard-working professionals that don't follow any of the drama that's going on here in Washington, D.C., and go out and do their job and keep us safe. So I'm glad we know that continues to happen. But, you know, one of the roles of Congress is to provide oversight. That's oversight of the executive branch, and that's oversight of one another as well. And the amount of leaks, it was hard to get things done.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that we had to talk about a report that is going to be weeks away from potentially being declassified so people can talk about it is not the way this process should work. But the bottom line is we've spent over a year working on this issue, and we need to transition now into working on developing a strategy to counter Russian disinformation.
Right.
We knew it happened. We know it's going to happen in 2018, and we got to make sure that we are inoculating ourselves to that in the future.
All right. So I want to put a fine point on this because the president tweeted about it and that you found no collusion between the Trump campaign and the Kremlin. And we can talk about Russian meddling and how you thwart that in a moment. But when you look at all of this, was the premise of this wrong then from the beginning, that there was some push for the Kremlin for this president? He said all along no. So have you proven him right on this?
Well, what we have looked at and proven is that it wasn't credible intelligence that suggests the Kremlin had a opinion one way or the other. I don't know what Vladimir Putin's opinion was. I could make a case that if Hillary Clinton would have won, that Hillary Clinton foreign policy would have looked a lot like Barack Obama foreign policy. And under Barack Obama foreign policy, the Russians invaded eastern Ukraine, they took over Crimea, they manipulated the grid of Ukraine. So you can say that, but in a very narrow sense, the intelligence that was used to make that assessment was substandard, and it didn't go through it went through a very atypical process.
All right. You said the Russian meddling is being looked at, and we can talk about that a little bit more when I bring you back, but I want to get to this because you're former CIA, and we have CIA Director Mike Pompeo about to become potentially the Secretary of State. Your reaction?
I think Mike Pompeo is a great professional. He's going to be able to encourage the rank and file of our diplomatic corps to get excited about their job. I think coming from a year and a half working on these issues, his learning curve is not going to be as steep. He already has relationships with some of these foreign leaders that he's going to be working on. That's great. And then elevating Gina to the director is a good move as well. Her background, experience, she's smart, she's tough, she has the support of the rank and file, and she's an ultimate professional and someone that's going to be great to helm that ship. And again, having continuity of leadership is important for the men and women in the CIA in order to do the hard work that they're tasked to do.
Yeah, I saw a short while ago where there was a list of GOP members who were saying that they really support her and coming out, just kind of the timing of that. You see this moving along pretty quickly?
It's hard to guess what our friends in the Senate are going to do, but I do, and don't quote me on this, but I think Dianne Feinstein even came out and said she was supportive of Gina. I think that's a big deal. I heard that in the halls here in Congress. So if that is indeed the case, that would portend that a confirmation process could be done, in a swift way. But I'm sure there's going to be a lot of questions, and Gina's prepared. She knows her stuff, and I'm looking forward to working with her as the first female director of the CIA.
All right, your words I wrote down. A learning curve not as steep with Mike Pompeo, and getting the rank and file excited, not just at the CIA, but also on the Hill. William Hurd, we've wanted to get you on the program for a while. Thank you so much. Great state of Texas. Appreciate your time.
It's a pleasure. Let's do it again soon.
All right.